Podcasting has a revenue problem, but just like podcasting's discovery problem, it's unevenly distributed. Now, we can make podcasting worth the investment, but only if we work together. Are you ready to help? Hello and welcome to another Podcast Pontifications with me, Evo Terra. Did you know Twitter makes about $1 billion every quarter? And most of that comes from advertising. But podcasting, we still haven't hit $1 billion of annual revenue for advertising. Not even $1 billion. Yet more people listen to podcasts than use Twitter. Let me say that again. More people listen to podcasts than are users of Twitter. But we're out of balance on the revenue portion. At least 4 times out of balance. But that's just looking at Twitter. What about the rest of the ad dollars out there? Now, I realize that advertising on Twitter and advertising on podcasting aren't the same. You just can't go to podcasting and say, "Can I advertise on you?" This doesn't work that way. Where you can go to Twitter. Twitter is an entity. Look, you can't go monetize I can't monetize my Twitter feed, right? That's not an option for me to offer advertising on my Twitter feed. Everybody gets, that's it, right? Everybody understands that when you're advertising on Twitter, it is a company, and there is no company that controls podcasting. It's different, and hence one of the problems, right? Because running ad campaigns on podcasts, on a podcast across all podcasting is, no matter which side you're on, whether you're the buyer or the supplier or the middleman, it's a pain in the Batinsky. It is a challenge. That's one problem. Part of the reason why that is the ads we all love and we hold up as the highest standard, because every survey, every study comes out that says host-read ads are amazing, and they are. They do perform really, really well. I don't doubt any of those numbers. But host-read, baked-in ads are not scalable by definition. They might scale for one show, but it's very difficult to scale that spread across multiple shows. And because of all of these things, the ad money flows to where it can be placed the easiest. Ad money in advertising flows where the advertiser can place the money easiest. So if you're bothered by 2 to 3 ads narrated in succession from your favorite podcaster, it's your fault. It's your fault because they've made it easy and you haven't. And the reason you haven't made it easy is you're not using dynamic ad insertion, DAI, as part of your platform. Because if you were using DAI with all of your episodes, then your inventory would be addressable to those advertisers as well. But it's not. It's not. See, this is an addressable inventory problem. It's not an inventory. It's not a total, there's not enough downloads. That's not the issue. There are plenty of downloads. There aren't enough downloads that advertisers can easily tap into. It's a pain in the butt. So the solution here is to make more addressable inventory available. Now, maybe that means more inventory overall, but I'm talking about more addressable inventory. So even if you don't have a 50 to 100,000 download per episode show, you've got a much smaller one than that. Maybe you're at hundreds or a few thousand of doing that. Still, if you open up your inventory via DAI, you will help alleviate this problem and let more money flow into you as well as podcasting overall. Yeah, it'd be great for you to grow your show, but come on, you try to grow your show all the time. What you need to do is make sure that you're allowing all of the ads to run where they possibly can run in your show so that it spreads out and there's more opportunities available for us. Now, if you're not reading Sounds Profitable, the newsletter by Brian Barletta, it's part of Pod News, that I am the editor of, you totally should be reading that newsletter that comes out once a month. Sounds Profitable this week, this week, talked about the DAI issue, and we'll continue to get into DAI. But as Brian said in that newsletter, if your hosting provider doesn't have dynamic ad insertion available or doesn't have a plan to implement DAI very quickly, like in the next few months, get off that podcast hosting company. It's time to move. Now, that's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a pain for you to make that move. It's not as easy as you probably want it to be. I mean, like, it probably is going to require you, not probably, it's definitely going to require you to update that embedded media player you have in every single one of your episodes. That's not going to be fun if you have 600-700 episodes out there, but it's still necessary. The idea here is to fix this revenue problem that we really do have, and the way we do that is through DAI, and that means we have to go through some pain to get adjusted. Now, I actually have working on a plan to make that a bit easier, or at least take the burden off of your shoulders. So if I've intrigued you with this idea, if you've known for a while you need to do this, you need to switch to a host that allows for DAI, and you need to go through and tag all your episodes and all of that challenge, and you just don't want to do it, get in touch with me. I've got a plan how we can make that, well, like I said, get that burden off of your shoulders and make it a nice, seamless process. So get in touch with me, evo@simpler.media, if you want to talk about that option. Also, you could go to buymeacoffee.com/evoterra if you found what I just said intriguing. Buymeacoffee.com/evoterra. Toss a couple of bucks my way. But most importantly, you probably know podcasters who have said, oh man, I need to do more with advertising. I need to make sure all of my content is addressable, or something along those lines. Send them this episode. They may not know about podcast pontifications. They may not know there's a podcast out there and a newsletter and a website, which is dedicated to all of those that get missed in the middle, because we're not beginners here. Well, maybe we're not making millions of dollars, but that wide spot in the middle, that's who we're trying to serve. That's who I'm trying to serve here with podcast pontifications, things to think about that make podcasting better for all of us. So please tell a friend about podcast pontifications, and I shall be back tomorrow with yet another podcast pontifications. Cheers.